Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is Pozole Verde. Today we'll be making pozole, which is a traditional hominy soup from Mexico. There's several different variations, including a red, a white, and a green, and today we're making the green version, or Pozole Verde. This is a dish that's often served on special occasions like birthdays, Mexican Independence Day, or Christmas. We're gonna start by making a grilled salsa verde, so let's jump right in. Let's take a look at what we have here. We've got a few poblanos, some jalapenos, about 1.5 pounds of tomatillos that we need to get the husks off of, and then a large onion that we're gonna peel and quarter. Now these are pretty sticky, and sometimes you get some trouble spots like right here. You can see there's a little dirt around the edge, so we wanna take these in, rinse them off, and get the rest of that off of there. Today we're cooking on the Kamado Joe ceramic charcoal grill. We've got it wide open, hot coal bed running at about 400 degrees. You can see we've got the grates in the lower position here so we can get right next to the charcoal. Now we're gonna steam these in a bag after we get some char on them, and then we're gonna peel the skins off. Now for the onions and the tomatillas, we're just looking to get a little bit of char, some nice grill marks, and soften them up a little bit. All right, you can see we're getting some really nice char here in our tomatillos. Our peppers are charring up nicely. That skin wants to flake away already, which is perfect. We're just gonna give these a flip so we can kind of brown them evenly, and then we'll let them keep going. All right, so these peppers are getting charred up, ready to come off. The flesh is kind of softened up now, but you can see like we got a spot like that. That skin's not gonna come off of there yet, so we gotta put it back. And as these tomatillos get their color and start to soften up, you see it in that squeeze there, those are ready to come off as well. And we'll just seal this up and let these steam off for about 15 minutes. All right, we're pulling off the last of the tomatillos. Our onions also charred up, a little bit softened. So let's go make some salsa. Before I actually jump into making that salsa, I want to get the grill set up for indirect cooking now, because we're going to spatchcock a chicken to put into this soup, and we need to cook it right here on the Kamado. I'm going to add just a little bit more charcoal to make sure that we can maintain the heat we need to get the chicken cooked through. Going to get these deflector plates in place here. So now we've got some indirect heat for cooking our chicken. And we replace the grates, this time on the higher setting in the divide and conquer system. Now for our salsa verde, there's a couple ingredients that didn't get grilled off, so we'll prepare those first, and that would be our cilantro and garlic. Now we're gonna build this salsa in the food processor, so we really don't have to do too much knife work here. We're just gonna chop this down a bit. Same thing with the garlic, just some slices or a rough chop here. The food processor will do all the heavy lifting. All right, then we're gonna take the stem ends off of the onions. Just chop those down a little bit. The tomatillos are a little more fragile, so I don't wanna chop them up and lose all those juices, so I'll just kind of tear them up as I throw them into the food processor here. And we've already got some incredible aroma coming off of this salsa even before it comes together. And now for peeling these peppers. Take those stems off. I'm gonna split these open. Keep the seeds if you like the heat, and get rid of them if you don't. And that charred skin should just peel right off of there. And we're doing just the exact same thing with the poblanos here. I'm gonna scoop out those seeds. Peel that skin right off the flesh. All right, so just a rough chop on the peppers now, and they'll go into the food processor. Now we're just gonna process this down until it's at a consistency that we like. If you want that added texture, you can leave it a little bit chunkier like you see right here, or you can take it just a little bit further. right, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And it smells amazing, so fresh and bright. This part is done, let's move on to chicken. We're working with a 5-pound bird today, and we're gonna cut the backbone out so we can cook this spatchcock style. So just cutting right along either side of the backbone. And that opens everything up for us. We've got some pockets of big fat here, we don't need that. I'm gonna take a knife and place it right here where the breastbone is. Just make a little cut, and that should allow it to pop open. There we go. And now those breasts, they can sit really nice and flat on that same level surface as the thighs and legs, so everything cooks in just about the right amount of time. Now if you wanted to, you could stop right here, season this up and throw it on, but there's a couple of things you can do to make this a little bit easier on you when you're actually dealing with the cooked meat. One of those things is to take out this bone right along the edge of the breast here. Now you can see on this one over here, I actually snapped it off when I was cutting through, so I might just have to use my knife to get down underneath that one. And then we're going to take out the bone at the top of the breast as well. So you can just slide your knife right underneath it. Now you guys have probably all seen this before. Work your way back to the bottom of that bone and just pull it right out of there. So that right there is your wishbone. Pull that out and you have direct access to the meat, no bones in the way. Today we're going to be combining a couple of my favorite rubs here. We've got the Cattleman's Steakhouse, which is a Southwest steak seasoning, and the Cattleman's 8-Second Ride, which is a carne asada seasoning. I'm going to go with a 1/4 cup of each one of these. So this one's got more of the herbs to it. This one's got more of the heat. They both have a bit of salt. And then there's one more thing I want to add, and that's about 1 tablespoon of cumin. Smells amazing. We're going to start with seasoning the underside first. So again, we're getting right onto the flesh there, underneath the skin. We've got some breasts exposed up top here. Then we can kind of pull these back through. That'll allow us to get the skin over here as well. We'll let that set up for just a minute before we flip it so we don't lose any of our seasoning. Here's a little trick you can do to kind of help that rub stick to the meat. Hit it with a little pan sprayer. In this case, we've got the spray duck fat. All right, so we flip this thing over. And again, we want to get all of the breasts, so we're going to come up from the bottom half, hit that with the seasoning, pull that back down, and then we'll come in from the top to get the top half. Beautiful. And then we'll just go ahead and season up the skin as well. Give that a few minutes and it'll be ready to go on the grill. We've got the Kamado stabilized at about 325. Anywhere in that 325 to 350 range is great for roasting off a chicken. And don't forget, we've got the diffuser plates in now, so we're cooking indirect. Right onto the grates with the bird. We'll close it up and let it get roasting. Well, the chicken's been on for about an hour. The internal temperature has come up to 160 in the breast, so this is ready to come off. We've let the chicken rest for about 15 minutes now. We're gonna shred up all that meat and discard the bones so we can go ahead and build this soup. Now you can do this all by hand. Just set yourself up with some cottons for the hot stuff with the nitriles over the top. I'm gonna pull the skin off this chicken. What you can do if you want, save that chicken skin and chop it up, and you can include that if you like. But you can see that this meat is just ready to fall off the bone, which is exactly what we're going for. But man, super juicy inside. It just smells awesome. This is a dangerous game because I don't know how much of this is going to make it into the soup pot. So we leave it kind of chunked up. You don't want to break it down too fine. These thighs, they must have hit that magic like 170 internal mark where they just turn into velvet and fall apart. That's the great thing about that spatchcock method is the thighs end where they're supposed to at the same time that the breast ends where it's supposed to. All right, and the breast will just break right apart. Remember, we removed those bones earlier, so there's really not that much in the way, just kind of the rib cage on the backside. Well, let's take a look at the inside of these breasts. Wow. Tender and juicy. Can't wait to dig into this. Smells incredible. Now we're ready to just bring it all together in the Dutch oven. We're gonna go down with our hominy here. Got our salsa verde. Loaded up with chicken. And then a couple quarts of chicken stock. Now we just want to bring this up to a simmer and let it simmer away for about 15-20 minutes. Make sure that everything is hot and all those flavors start to meld together. All right, it's been a good 20 minutes. Everything's nice and hot. The aroma is just incredible coming off of this. I know this is going to need some salt, but let me give it a taste so we can figure out just how much to add. Oh yeah, a little bit of salt will really kick this up. That's going to make everything come together. We got the hickory smoked salt back again today. And it's a good idea to wait until the last minute here to season with salt. That way you don't overdo it at some point in the process. We're ready to plate this up now, and there's any number of garnishes that you could add to this soup to really spice it up. Today I'm gonna do a little bit of red cabbage. I'm gonna put this in the bottom so we can ladle that hot soup over the top. I'm also gonna add a few slices of avocado. You throw a lime on there to squeeze over the top. A little bit of queso fresco. And remember that skin that we saved off the chicken? Well, I threw it back on the grill to crisp it up, and that's gonna give us a really nice salty crunch on top. All right, let's dig in. Man. That broth is fantastic. It didn't take long with the salsa verde combined with the chicken stock for that to really develop its flavor. Great texture in this dish from the chicken, the hominy. They're both slightly different, but they give you a bit of variety. And it's really bright. I mean, it's like in the dead of winter, this would warm your soul. But thank you guys so much for watching. From all of us here at allthingsbbq.com, we want to wish you a Feliz Navidad. Happy holidays to you all. If you enjoyed that recipe, hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.